That one.
You're ready?
Okay. This is a city council of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, regular meeting agenda, February 9th, 2023 at 6:30 PM. Notice is hereby given that this is a regular meeting of the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, being held today, Thursday, February 9th, 2023 at 6:30 PM at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas, where a quorum of the city council will be present. All agenda items are subject to action. The city of Sandy Oaks will provide live stream audio and telephonic access of the meeting through the link provided in the posted agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Time is now 6:34. May I get a call to order, please?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem Alvarado. Here. Alderwoman Martinez.
Here.
Alderman Rapino.
Here.
Alderman Coffin.
Here.
Alderman Fillinger.
Here.
We do have our city attorney and city secretary. You have a quorum.
Thank you. May we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Citizens to be heard. Madam Secretary, do we have anybody signed up to speak?
Yes, we have Mr. Stephen Gruber.
Okay, Mr. Gruber, you have the,
Can I say it from here?
that's fine, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, City Council. This is one item I wanted to bring up December of last year and couldn't because I was going through radiation therapy treatment for cancer. At the time, we had ViaLink out here, which ended the 1st of December. I talked to a couple of the drivers that picked me up at my house and took me to the city-based transit center. They were suggesting to me to bring it up with you, the mayor, and the city council about maybe getting 3 vans for the city to do approximately the same thing they were doing from here to the transit center. One of them told me, and it was only an estimate, if it costs all the citizens out here, or at least half of them, $100 a year, it would profit the city. Because I know for a fact, I was riding it and going to my appointments by bus. Because at the time I was unable to drive. Just to go from here to city-based transit center and back about every 1 or 2 hours. Not only would it benefit folks like me, and I do know some students were riding it to get to school, and from what the drivers were telling me, some of the people out here were using the transit center to get to and from work and back out here to their homes. That's just a proposal that I'd like to see what y'all's opinion would be on it. Like I said, they told me it'd probably have to be a vote of at least half the citizens out here. And probably cost us maybe $100 a year. But like I say, I wanted to bring that up in December and couldn't. And haven't been able to until now because I've been going to and from medical treatments and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
That the VA has graciously given me the opportunity to have a driver come out and pick me up at my house and take me to my appointments and back again. But there are some things like going to the store or other appointments that they won't be able to take them to. So that's what I wanted to bring up to y'all and see what y'all thought.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's something that we can at least talk about eventually.
Bring it up.
Maybe even like a rideshare program, like an Uber, right? His vouchers for senior citizens or something like that. So I
And
mean,
of
it's,
course, we have to consider our liability.
right, exactly. But
Can we put that on the next?
we can definitely circle back and touch base with you and figure out how we can do it and make sure that it's the right fit. And,
Thank you.
but we definitely hear,
Sir,
yes, sir.
but we don't apply during public comment, sir.
Mhm.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Can we or can't?
We can only reply with a factual statement, no opinions, and no discussion.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk through it.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Cancer goes put on agenda.
Can we ask a
Next
question?
agenda, that's-
No.
Sure.
Well, that's not-
We'll have to talk about it.
So
See
it
what's,
wouldn't be a question to ask about it being put on a future agenda item.
You can ask that, you can
Mhm.
talk about putting on a future agenda.
But not any decisions, right?
No, no
No further
decision.
No.
discussion.
I was just asking if we could have it put on a future agenda item,
sure,
please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, Mayor and Administrator announcements and updates. Okay, so as far as my updates are concerned, the main concern is going to be there is going to be a development on Lamb Road coming up in the relatively near future. They're thinking it's going to be quite a few homes. I think what was the number? Over 400 homes,
800.
800. Okay. Yeah, it was quite a large amount of homes. So the point of that comment though is that we're gonna have a town hall in the future at the next meeting to discuss that with the developers and their attorneys to kind of field some questions. So definitely be prepared for that coming up. Have some stuff prepared. I think I sent out the information on the that they sent to me. So that'll also be made public, so you can also read it and have your questions prepared as well. They are planning to do some improvements to public roads. This is where we can maybe get a little bit more specific with them on what they plan on doing, and then ask them if they're also willing to accept additional roads or additional investments. But yeah, that'll be in the next meeting. And then the second.
Talk about a time, the timeline.
Oh, yes. So that actually brings the question, when do you want to have the town hall meeting? Talking amongst ourselves, I was thinking at 6, thinking we're the only ones that are going to reply, but allowing for the public still time. Or we could do it at 6:30, but should public come in, it would, and they have questions accordingly, then it'll also push our normally scheduled meeting back. So either way, there's going to be some inconvenience. More than likely, we're going to either have to wait or extend our normal meeting past normal hours. But that's basically up to y'all. What y'all think?
We've always done it at 6:30 regardless of whether we pushed the meeting back. I mean, extended our normal meeting. We might as well keep it the same.
You want to do 6:30? Anybody else have any other?
We do 6:30 and I'd say maybe the next day do the meeting, depending upon how long it goes.
I don't think we can we push our
I don't
council
know.
meeting? I don't think so, right?
It'd be a special.
It'd have to be a special meeting.
No,
Yeah. I mean, it's
We-
never
we
gone
can-
that
Or
long.
we can push the,
sir, we can recess and come back into session the following day.
okay,
Okay,
We can recess at 10 o'clock at night until 6:30 the next day.
okay. So just depending on how things go, we can figure things out
I've
along the way.
never seen that happen.
Right. I'm hoping there's some actually public involvement. So, because it is going to affect all of us, right? There's going to be, almost 800 new homes that are going to be trying to, basically use the same roads that we are. And so I'd hope to get some citizen feedback.
Mhm.
But okay, that's pretty much it. So then I'll leave it for 6:30 unless anybody disagrees. Okay, so that'll be on the next meeting's agenda. Okay, moving on to item 5, we have the consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be
Road
separate.
bond-
Come again?
road bond update.
You're right. Sorry, just skip that back. Skip that. Sorry, going back to 4B, road bond update. So really the only updates that I had, and it was basically out of some concerns that citizens were thinking that the project was done with just the basic widening of the road and some pothole repair. That is the farthest from the truth. They will be back once there is consistent weather, and then they'll come back and chip seal the entire road, the length of the road. I believe they're adding 2 inches.
That's not a chip seal, sir. They're putting new pavement on top of the patches,
Gotcha,
2 inches thick.
gotcha. They're repaving it 2
And
inches.
thermoplastic line markings and all of that.
Right. So once the weather is appropriate to do that, I think they need 4 or 5 days consistently over 65 degrees
Right.
without any chance of rain. So that way the material doesn't fail prematurely. So they're looking for a window to finish that, but they're still out there. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw their trucks out the other day. So
Yeah,
Um, don't be alarmed. That's not the end of the project. But that's all I got. Yeah, it is going well. It looks good. And I can see by the Dollar General, they actually widened it. So I think it's gonna be a good thing. Okay, sorry about that. All right, moving on to item 5, the consent agenda. Again, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered appropriately.
Are the minutes for January 26th? Here, I don't have it.
They're not ready.
They're not,
We'll-
okay.
I'll ask the mayor to pull that.
Okay, so we will pull the
5B.
January, 5B. Do I need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Sans, item B. The minutes for January 26, 2023, regular city meeting.
a second.
Okay. All right, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino and a second from Alderman Fillinger to approve the consent agenda minus item 5B, the January 26 minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. That passes unanimously. Okay, moving on. Financial report, the income and expenses for January 2023 will be reported by the city secretary, Shelton, with possible discussion and or action.
Okay, so the first 3 pages, 4 pages are gonna be the summaries of our 4 accounts. Starting with the general fund. The beginning balance as of January 1st was $206,099.30. We had checks and payments of $202,834.93. Deposits and credits of $304,028.39. The cleared balance as of January 31st, 2023 of $307,292.76. Any questions on that one? Second page, ARPA funds. Beginning balances of January 1st, 2023 of $790,479 even. Checks and payments of $43,011.50. There was a deposit of $13,250. That did come in January. That was meant for the TDA account, so it has been moved, but it got moved in February, so it's not a part of January's summary. The ending balance as of January 31st, 2023 was $760,717.50. Bond fund. Beginning balance as of January 1st, $704,488.79. Checks and payments of $31,909.60. A deposit of interest of $29.48, leaving an ending balance as of January 31st, 2023 of $672,608.67. will actually be the TDA grant account. Beginning balance of $51,970. I'm sorry, there is the deposit there of $13,250. I did get that done in January, leaving an ending balance of $65,220. And then the rest of it would be details of each fund, as well as the budget versus expenses on page 9. Questions? Questions?
If there are
No
no
questions
questions,
or discussions.
Did you have a question? Alderman Woodfield?
no,
I'm
I was
sorry,
just gonna make a motion, but, Charles was already, Underway.
If there's no discussion or questions, I move we approve the financial report as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion from Alderman Rapino and a second from, or rather, I have a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderman Rapino to accept the financial report as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Okay, moving on to item 7A. Updates and announcements from Chief Lopez with possible discussion and or action. As you know, Chief Lopez is not present today, so I believe Catherine will be discussing at a high level his notes.
He had no updates or announcements.
No updates or announcements. Okay. Then moving on to 7B, presentation of the monthly report by Chief Lopez. Would you like to go ahead and discuss that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
So the first part of it is in January, we had 119 defendants scheduled for court with 249 cases, 106 traffic stops, 144 citations written in January, 59 warnings, 6 calls for service for the chief, 30 for Corporal Castillo, 25 for Officer Maldonado, and 7 for Officer Tucker, ACO. 11 arrests. 3 assists other law enforcement agencies. 1 Bear County Fire Assist, 1 EMS Assist. 2 resident alarms. An animal bite. Dog. An attempt to locate. 1 civil matter regarding custody or visitations. 4 civil matters. 1 crash report. 6 junk vehicle, code enforcement or code city ordinance violations. 22 city ordinance violations regarding all of them were dogs except for 1. I can't remember what he said it was, but it wasn't a dog. 1 damaged property call, a disturbance, family disturbance call, 4 noise disturbance calls, 1 shot turn, 3 emergency detentions, 1 fire, it was either structure or other. Found 1 runaway, 1 service for verbal or telephone harassment, 2 regarding narcotics loan, 1 reckless driver, 2 runaways, 1 suicide attempt, 2 calls for suspicious persons, 1 theft call, 1 vehicle theft call, 1 evading traffic stop, 1 traffic violation hazard, 4 welfare checks, and 1 towed vehicle. On the last page, then you will see all of the arrests for January, which were 5 non-residents and 6 residents, for a total of 11 arrests. Looks like a lot of them were county work. Multi hearing, evading. Okay, and then the second part is his annual racial profiling report. So if you actually turn to the third page of the packet, it shows a total of 1,251 stops made. And then if you go to the very last page, all of this is broken down. There's a lot of information throughout here, but that very last page, the left part of the page, the box is for, so the right side is our demographic, based off the census. The left side is for the year of 2022. So of the traffic stops, 62.43% were male and 37.57% were female. Of those, there was an Alaska Native, or one that is American Indian, 8 identified as Asian or Pacific Islander, 37 Black, 222 white, and 983 Hispanic Latinos. And then you see the percentages next to that. And that's a requirement to be done by, I think he said March, but it's already been filed with this, reported to the state. That's all I have for that.
Okay. Don't necessarily see anything out of the ordinary.
Seems like there was a lot of work back in January, and then we don't have some more than
Yeah, the city ordinance violation for dogs, horse, pig is always a concern. Not so much for the dogs. I mean, obviously the dogs is an issue, but the bigger animals, right? Those can cause major accidents and a lot of people to get hurt. So, you know, that's kind of alarming that we have that many.
Oh, only one of those was not a dog, and I believe it was a pig.
I do too.
Okay.
If it was a pity. And
Okay.
it's not to say that these were calls for service, so, you know, that amount of citations weren't written. But
Gotcha.
these were calls for service for animal control.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you.
You know,
All right, moving on to agenda item 8A, presentation of monthly report by ACO. Who is not present today? Do you have that information? Madam Secretary?
for the month of January, I don't have like specifics. Right now, we have 10 dogs outside.
We do have 10 dogs.
6 puppies and 4 adults, all females. We anticipate, hopefully maybe by this time next week, the 6 puppies and 2 mothers will be gone. If not, then by the 22nd, the transport will come get them. That would leave us with 2 in facility once they're gone.
Okay.
And a shout out to Public Works for taking care of the facility.
Definitely.
Cleaning.
Definitely, thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item 9A, updates and announcements from Park Advisory Committee Chair Rapino with possible discussion and or action. Alderman, you have the floor.
Thank you. We had a meeting, on Tuesday, we discussed a lot of things, mainly focused around the community center and their activities, and there was some excitement because they're getting a credit card and then they be able to. We discussed how they are to use it, what guidance they should use before they make a purchase, and that was the main focus of that. And also our next meeting will be March the 7th. And I will want to talk to you about some stuff that we discussed in the past, you and I, about the chair of the community center.
Yeah.
And that's all I have right now.
Any questions?
Mayor Martinez, is now a good time to remind him of what we spoke about earlier?
Or about the chairs, tables and chairs? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, they are talking
Oh,
about,
about the, there was, in a previous meeting, it was mentioned that y'all would come up with some sort of a rental agreement.
Yes.
And I didn't see it on the agenda, and I. was
we've had a
listening.
rental agreement before,
I think y'all were, I don't know, Alderman Fillinger had mentioned something in the last meeting. Actually, it was the first meeting in January that the park would put together some sort of a rental
and-
agreement. So I don't know.
we did have a rental agreement in the past.
Unless it needed to be modified because we changed some things up regarding hours and
know,
alcohol and stuff. I don't.
We haven't talked, we didn't talk about it at the meeting, but we can, doesn't need to be at the meeting. We can
Yeah.
discuss that
Okay.
with them.
And I'll get with you and we can see what's still on the website, or maybe we have something already that we can modify.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, yeah, they can do that.
Okay. All right. But what about the chairs, tables and chairs?
They're going to purchase them.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then they're buying some stuff for Bunko and Loteria, and that's still the case?
yes,
Okay, good.
we talked about that also.
Okay. Do you have a first bingo night or something?
No,
planned?
they haven't. There is a,
Who is the lady that does the gatherings there?
The
Is she
coordinator?
part of Parks and Recreation?
Gloria?
Sacramento?
Gloria,
Yeah.
sorry,
Uh-huh.
sorry, not there, yeah, there's gonna be a sale down there this weekend. I
Okay.
Oh,
believe.
that's right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does she have anything planned like for Easter? Because I've got 2 big bags of confetti.
They usually do a function on Easter, but
Okay.
there is no,
I'll get
right
with
now,
her
they're probably planning, but we didn't discuss it at the meeting. We
Okay.
probably will at next meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, because it's in April, right?
Yeah,
Like mid-April, something like that. So,
okay. I'll check
Okay.
with her.
any other questions? Concerns? What about,
we talked about the car
yeah,
show.
talk about the question?
Yeah, Alderman Coffindapper gave me a blurb to put out, as you did about the lights. We
Okay.
talked about that too.
3D email I sent you today.
I mean, you sent it right before I got here, so no. But I saw it.
That's stuff.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Moving right along to item 10A. Public Works updates and our announcements from Public Works Director Smith with possible discussion and or action. Ms. Smith, you have the floor.
Just been utilizing a backhoe that was provided for Texas Material to spread out the melons that they've been dumping at the park. The sand is pretty bad out there. They've gotten quite a few 18-wheelers. When they bring the melons in, they're getting them stuck. And they're having to get towed out of there, even with the melons on the ground. But we're doing the best we can to get the melons spread out from New Memphis.
The melons?
Millings.
Oh, it's
So
like melons?
I was saying melons.
I'm thinking watermelon. and all that.
It's the Sandy Oaks draw.
Sand, rock,
Millings.
Oh, God,
no.
a million. Oh, I understand now. I was saying, is that how
I said,
traction now?
you can grow some watermelons at the park if you want.
No.
Start a garden.
I just like.
I'm using one.
How many times have the 18-wheelers gotten stuck? Can you count?
4.
4 times? And no, granted, those are the extreme, right? They're heavy, they're loaded, or then they're light coming out, right? So,
Oh, when they go down,
yeah,
they get stuck.
gotcha.
Sink it.
Okay, well, we'll just keep spreading what we got.
You just
Do
keep
the best
pulling
we
them
can.
out.
I am gonna ask if they can bring what they dumped back there on New Mathis in that area that's supposedly gonna get surveyed. I'm gonna ask real nicely. Maybe they can take that out of there and take it actually to the park.
That's what we had
Otherwise, it's
suggested,
gonna stay there and I have no way to move that.
Yeah.
but you wanted it there.
And there's a lot back there.
No, they asked where they could dump it.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine, but
I just thought that he had a
Yeah,
plan for it.
they needed quick access to their stuff
They
too,
did.
right? So,
but they've added extra.
yeah,
So it's more than what you
In the
had planned.
cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
you will
lot.
be getting more from Hilltop Peaks, they asked where they could dump it until they can haul it off.
Yeah.
And it was said the park. Actually, I talked to you.
I have a
about it.
spot, yes,
There's-
there's a
there's
spot
lots
already
of room
marked
in the
out
park,
for
yeah.
what's gonna happen on Hilltop Peaks and Loman. But again, I'm still gonna ask if the guys don't mind, you know, picking that stuff up and taking it actually to the park, because we could really use the material
Mhm.
there, not where they left it.
So I
So
had that.
they did need quick access, and so we made that happen.
Sure.
So hopefully we could get some cooperation, get that moved over to the park. We definitely could use it there.
Okay. Any more updates or announcements?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, all right, moving on to 10B. Discuss under possible action on quotes received for the purchase of a welder. Priscilla, you do have the floor once again.
So, we would like to ask if we can get a welder. Mike and Clyde have experience in welding. And you'll have it in y'all's packet. I ended up getting 3 quotes for the welder. One is through Granger for $960, one's through Tractor Supply, and one is at Northern Tools. And the cheapest one we found, they're apples, not oranges and apples. They're identical to each other. The cheapest one would be at Northern Tools.
Looks
The
like
most economical purchase,
Yes, sir.
uh. What's the purpose of having this welding machine?
So. A couple of different things that we have going on that I do want to plan for the future for the maintenance yard. There is an area of a carport and there is a room that is not being utilized. And I'd like to enclose one side of it with our paneling and support it with a beam and have it welded. It's the construction, the main construction of that carport is metal. So we would like to be able to weld a support beam in place so we can put some R panels on the side of one to enclose one of the walls. And the other side of the wall consists of plywood, and we're gonna take that down. We'd like to do R paneling. And we come up with a figure to make all that happen, not counting this welder. The materials for all of that to enclose it and make it happen would be right under $400.
Okay.
So we're gonna use the welder for that. For many other things. We also would like to replace the existing fencing around the maintenance yard in the future. And by us doing that, we're gonna save the city a bundle, but I would like to also get the council some quotes on what it would cost the city. We did have somebody do it versus Public Works doing it. But the maintenance yard is in poor condition.
In the maintenance yard, we do have power available to run the welder. Do we have a
You have a 240?
functioning portable generator to use this anywhere else?
No, sir.
Okay,
Do we have 240 at the
no, this
maintenance
is
center?
115.
Is it 120?
Yeah.
110?
Yes.
Okay,
One time.
So my
I've
question is,
used this machine extensively. It's
Gotcha.
150.
okay.
so my question is, at what point does Public Works should come to us and ask for the money for the gas to operate this welder? Because what we're set up to have oxygen settling,
No,
things
sir.
added to
it's
it.
electric.
No, sir, it's set up for
When
metal inert gas. But
What I'm
that,
getting at is what kind of wire are we running with this, a flux wire or just a hard wire?
Transport.
Because
No,
it does
no.
make a difference in cost.
well, if you want to weld exotics, aluminum, stainless steel, then you have to go with the metal or inert gas,
Mhm.
solid welding wire. Normal carbon steel, you'll use a flux core welding wire.
Mhm. Well, I'm asking because these systems are coming with the gas system set up on it without the gas tank. It's already got the gauges, the hoses and all that. From what I'm seeing, all three of them did. All three of them are the same welder, just sold by three different people.
Yeah.
But that's why I had to ask. Cause I didn't know if later we're gonna wind up having to pay for the gas. So I already know to get the first bottle. It's like $500. Now granted, the replacement of it's cheaper. It's like buying a propane bottle.
Yeah,
That's why-
no, unless we're welding, as I said, exotics, yeah, we'll never need those gauges.
This will also come in handy reinforcing parts of the animal control facility.
And you said who knows how to, use it?
Both of my public works employees.
Both of them do.
Yeah, I think every public works department needs a welding device, particularly if they have the expertise to use it. And we don't need to worry about exotics right now, but there's always gonna be,
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the welder from Northern Tool.
But I'll second that motion.
Okay. So I have a
You
motion.
wanna not to exceed amount?
Not to exceed $700, would you,
Absolutely, yes.
would you amend your motion?
With amendment of not to exceed $700.
Does say free shipping, so all right. All right, so I have a motion from Alderman Coffendaffer and a second from Alderman Fillinger with an NTE to approve the purchase of the Hobart Handler 140 Flux Cord MIG welder model 500559 with an NTE of $700
From where?
From Northern.
from Northern Tools. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That passes unanimously. Get to welding, man. Well, the other guys, get to welding, guys.
Eyes on deck.
All right.
Your eyeball show me supervisor.
All right, moving forward. Administration of old business. Discuss it. So,
The rest of it?
was there, was there the rest of it?
Nothing else on
What do you
the-
mean?
I only see the welders.
The apron?
Where is it at?
Where's it at?
I don't have an apron.
we don't have it.
We didn't get it.
It was in the email.
Yeah, because I was wondering, a shield doing.
Excuse me, how much is the apron, ma'am?
The apron is $34.99.
Buy it out of your existing, public works, budget.
Thank you, sir. Enough said, and I'll get the kit as well, the welding, the safety kit.
Mhm.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
All right, moving forward. Administration, old business. Discuss under possible action on an ordinance repealing ordinance 2022-206 to abolish the Animal Control Advisory Committee and an ordinance amending ordinance number 2020-157, creating an Animal Shelter Advisory Committee to provide for additional duties to the ASAC and related matters. Okay.
I suggest we need to take these one at a time.
Sure.
We should move on the new, ordinance. Amending ordinance 2020-157, before we address, repealing ordinance 2022-206.
Okay.
So I mean, we discussed. We don't have a number here, but, the ordinance, amending 2020-157. Yeah,
Second.
and it
That's it.
looks good to me. I don't need to discuss it.
Okay. And you said you second?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one was it then?
2020-157?
Okay, so
Okay, so,
Which
Jen,
one is this?
it's this one.
This, the new one?
This is the repeal,
The repeal.
right?
So do we have a number for the?
I think that.
The new one is 2021.
Yeah.
2021.
We have 2023 dash something.
I can't remember if it's 220 or.
You have 220 for that one, at least on the title. Of the, how you saved it, you have ordinance 2023,
Okay.
2020 for the
2021.
one amending 2021-57.
Okay, so it's 2020. Or 220, I mean, not 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw it. too.
So it's 2023 220.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting confused.
Okay,
That's on the number.
The red line.
so,
Yeah, 2023.
all right, so let me make sure I have this correct. So I have a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderwoman Alvarado. And to amend ordinance number 2020-157. Right,
Oh, we're amending it.
and
Replacing it.
Let me restate, sir.
restate, please.
If there's no discussion desired,
I don't think there was any.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 2023-220. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks amending ordinance number 2020-157 to provide for additional duties of the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee and related matters thereto.
There we go.
Gotcha.
And now it's your turn, Grace.
And I second.
All right. That's a little easier. All right. So I have a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderwoman Alvarado to adopt 2023-220, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, amending ordinance number 2020-157 to provide for additional duties of the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee and related matters thereto. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. All right, so we move on that. And
I'll step right on up and move that the council adopts ordinance number 2023-221. An ordinance of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, repealing ordinance 2022-206 and abolishing the Animal Control Advisory Committee and providing for an effective date of 9 February 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, all right, so I have
Yeah, here, 7.
I have a motion from Alderman Fillinger and a second from Alderman Rapino to adopt 2023-221, an ordinance of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, repealing ordinance 2022-206 and abolishing the Animal Control Advisory Committee and providing for an effective date of February 9th, 2023. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. Does that wrap us up for that one?
Yep, that takes care of it.
All right. All right. All right, 11B, discuss under possible action on a nomination and appoint of a chair of the Animal Control Advisory Committee.
Sir, I'm gonna step up and say, unless Alderman Coffendapper has resigned the position of chair of the Animal Control Advisory Committee, you pull this item and move on to agenda item 12.
I agree with the gentleman.
Well, it does 11B, it's mute, and that, it's a moot point.
But he's
right?
got to pull it.
Because we don't
Exactly.
have- Yeah, that's right, okay. I should
Okay.
never put that on this, but.
Well, just in case we didn't abolish
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
I don't think you've stepped down, have you?
Not that I know of. We're
Okay,
good.
then we're gonna,
before.
hold on, hang on. All right, so we're gonna pull item 11B. And so that's official. And then,
I had a question
did you have a question?
about the folder. They just gave it to us for us to,
Yeah.
okay, it wasn't,
Review it.
Okay.
That's your lead.
For information.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Good night.
it is now 7:18. We stand adjourned.
Holy cow,
But that's a record.
that is the first time this year.